I'm on a February 12th backpacking trip to, I don't know, Matias Potrero or wherever. Just want to make a little note that at this sign where it says Matias Trail, that's not the way to the camp. You want to go towards Gibraltar Dam. Well, so I'm here at the camp, but I didn't see any water. So I'm gonna walk around, see if there's any water, and if not, I'm gonna have to camp somewhere else. Well, can't find any water here at Matias Potrero, so I'm gonna continue on towards Gibraltar Dam. It's only about 3 o'clock, so I got time. So I expected this creek to have water, but it has no water. Oh look, here's a little creek just a couple of feet away from the other creek that has water. So very little bit of water. So I'm gonna get water here, and then if I find a really nice, cool campsite up there somewhere, I can stay. Otherwise, I'm off to Devil's Canyon. Well, I got all the way to the end of the Devil's Canyon Trail. As soon as there was water in the creek, there was nowhere where you could put a bed. There's just like poison oak everywhere and junk, like fallen logs and stuff. Well, I ended up camping right below the dam, just a little bit beyond where you would cross the creek to go down to the swimming hole. Like, you can keep going on the little road, so I went all the way to the end. There's some kind of a machine or something here. It kind of hums very quietly. But there's water down there in the creek, lots and lots of really clean, clear looking water, and lots of frogs. And I've got a 10-degree sleeping bag, so I should be pretty warm. I brought this book, Thirst by Heather Anish Anderson. I've read it already once before. She hiked the fastest known time of the Pacific Crest Trail. She did it in 60 days or 62 days or something. And it's a really good book. She's a really good writer. It's exciting. You think, oh my God, I could never do any of this. If I'd had more time yesterday, I had been thinking I could maybe camp here, somewhere around here. This creek is dry here, but I'm pretty sure there's some water upstream. And there's a little side trail, so I think maybe there might be somewhere you could camp up there. Oh look, there's water right here. I just turn right around and there it is, water. So yeah, I could have pitched my tent on this road probably. somewhere. Just right here. Nobody would have come by in the night, but I ran out of daylight yesterday. There's the Sunbird Mercury mine. You can make a decent day hike from Red Rock out to the mine. I think the total is like 11 miles round trip. It's kind of interesting, although they've got a fence now all the way around it. But you used to be able to go in there. It's like super dangerous. Like all the boards are crumbling and you could fall through or something. But there was still like these metal, I don't know what you call them, but they're like bottles that they would put the mercury in. And see all this red soil? This is the cinnabar that you get the mercury out of. Cinnabar is a mercury ore and it's a red color. There's also another mercury ore that I'm not sure if it's around here or not, called orpiment, and it's more of a yellow. And it's kind of interesting that Santa Barbara's drinking water has a bunch of mercury mine tailings piled up on the edge of it. So maybe that is why Santa Barbans are so laid back. They're half poisoned by mercury. Who knows? Probably not. So there's some yellow rocks. I don't know if that is orpiment. There's quite a lot of it. And there's even a little mine opening right here. That's now, I guess, protected bat habitat. And then here you can see a little better how the cinnabar tailings are pretty much right there at the edge of the lake. The lake is pretty low right now, so it's not in the water, but I've been here when the water has been right up to those red tailings. It's been very pleasant though, hiking on this road. It's smooth and easy to hike on, and it's cool, lonely. Can you see the tick? I don't know if the camera's focusing well enough. There's actually a couple of ticks on here. Ticks are out! So the Gibraltar Trail, it hasn't been that bad. It's been a little brushy and a few places it kind of falls over the edge and it's a little treacherous, but I've been able to do it. And I think that right there is the jungle, the Mono jungle. And so I should be dropping down into the Cold Springs trail that goes to Mono soon. And look right there, you can see somebody's built a new trail that climbs you out so that you don't have to go through the jungle. And I've heard that it will go all the way up to the road and then you take the road to Mono. So I'm gonna check that out, see how it is. That was really terrifying. I wasn't sure I was gonna make it, but I did. I mean, I don't know that I would die, but I could hurt myself. I'm an old lady. Oh, so here I am. I've come to the junction with the trail that goes to Mono. Hi, kitty kitty. I just saw a bobcat. So pretty. Look at the big cone spruce. I didn't know there were big cone spruce there. So normally the trail would be down there in the jungle. Last time I was down there on a hike, there was quicksand and I got stuck and I had to have people help me get out because I couldn't get out on my own. The more I struggled, the deeper I went, and I was losing my shoes. But I had to dig my shoes out after they pulled me out. It's kind of scary. I'm glad I wasn't alone. But the trail has taken me up here and it's like in really good shape. It's really nicely made. There's a little bit of it there. So the trail seems to have come to a high point and now it's going down, and maybe that's it over there joining the road. So it's gone up and down and now up again, and now it's going down again. So maybe it goes up again. Certainly changes the feeling of the hike to Little Caliente with all these ups and downs. Well, I was right. It did drop down and come back up and meet the road. Here's the road. Here's the turnoff from the road to the parking area for Mono. Oh, I'm almost there to the hot springs, and there's a little creek, and somebody left a little bucket, a teeny little tiny bucket. It's so cute. It's very small, so you can scoop some water. So I was sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, I haven't seen water for miles and miles and miles. So where am I going to get water before I run out? But it looks like there's water here. No camping. But there's camping. Well, I'm here. And I'm alone. Smells like sulfur. This one is going to be my pool. Look how nice this is. Yeah, this is the life. Oh, so Tony told me about these Facebook friends of his. They were doing a hike out in the Anza Borrego desert called the Prude to Nude hike. So here I am, I'm doing my own Prude to Nude hike. Oh man, this is so warm. It's perfect. It's great. So I found a little bit of shade. I was getting a little woozy. Hot springs are warm. The sun is hot. I've already gone about 9 miles today. If I was gonna go to Cottam, that would be like another 7. I kind of got some blisters on my feet, so I don't know if I can make it 7 today. There's water here for sure. Might be good to just stay here. Guess I'll just sit here and think about it. Well, I got some water at that little tiny spring. I only have 2 liters capacity with me. I didn't think it would be quite this dry, but I'm heading off towards Mono Campground. This appears to be the only water source for Mono Campground. I guess it's not horrible. It's coming over the debris dam. Both the campsites are full, but there was a 3rd campsite that's kind of undesirable. I could stay there. So I found a nice creek that was flowing, and I found a spot to camp nearby. There's a young couple camped right down, like on the beach of the creek, and they said I wasn't very far from Cottam Camp, and I didn't want to get all the way there. I guess there's a family camp there. I put in quite a bit of miles today. My feet are pretty tired, but it's good to get it out, get all the inner pain out into outer physical pain that's easier to deal with. It's coffee time. And wine o'clock. It's always wine o'clock. So I've been trying out my homemade ground sheet poncho on this trip. And I like it because of the way I made it so it has like a bathtub floor. All the edges are pulled up around the sides, and that way I don't know, if I just sort of have my things scattered around and the wind blows, it's not just gonna blow away, it's gonna stay inside. But it's made of kind of thick DCF fabric, Dyneema composite fabric, and I've noticed that sometimes you can feel the sharp spines on the thorns on the oak leaves. You can feel it through, like it pokes through. So that's not very good. I think that either I should always put a small bit of polycryo underneath it, or perhaps I should only bring it on trips where I know it's going to rain, and then try not to sleep on beds of soft leaves, which is, I like to sleep on soft leaves. But yeah, otherwise, as a poncho, I tested it out in town when it was raining, and it works pretty good. I don't think a few little tiny pinholes are going to hurt it, but I'm gonna have to go, when I get home, I'm gonna have to see how much damage there was, because I spent 2 nights sleeping on these little spiny leaves. So I have this Lightsmith chair, and this is the chair part. What I did is I put some loops on there, and I was able to hook them onto the bottom of my pack, and then I can take my thin light, and it's like, it's too long at the bottom. I'm afraid that the action of walking and my back going up and down will just take it out, so I put the chair over it, and then I sewed a couple of little loops to hook it in, and then it's nice and smooth against my back. Yeah, so there it is. It's all tucked in there, stays put. And then I found somebody left some tent poles, broken tent poles, so I kind of did like the KS50 pack, and I sewed on some webbing little places to kind of give it some structure. And I wished that I could use the Lightsmith poles for that, because then the whole chair would serve a dual purpose, but the poles they're attached together with this thing that doesn't come off, so you can't really separate them, and it's too much of a pain. So these little tent poles don't weigh that much. But yeah, it's kind of revived my old backpack. It had some holes in the top from my hands, my fingers. Being out in the sun for so many years is starting to weaken the nylon, but I sewed that back together, and I made this pocket for the back. It's kind of loose, but it lets me, because the pocket it comes with is really short and you can't put much in there. And even though it came with this shot cord so that you can put stuff in there, I'm afraid stuff is going to fall out as I walk, and I won't see it fall out because it's on the back. But yeah, there you go. There's my old backpack serving me well. There it is. Look at that. Somebody here at Cotton Camp has installed a toilet. And I don't know if that's like a squatty potty, if you're supposed to like stand there. But there's like not much privacy. Wow, this big tree here fell on where I used to camp. Uh-oh, my little campsite is gone. But yeah, I would put my tent pretty much right where that all fell. Wow, I'm glad I wasn't camping under there.